Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm just going to get started with some Reiki healing. Clear off the space from any negative energy that I may have attracted today. We can't have none of that. If you're new, welcome. Today we are going to look at the chakras to see how are they blocking your love life. Because sometimes it helps to know what's going on. What do we need to work on? What do we need to unblock? Why isn't this moving forward? Sometimes that's a sign that it's time to leave that relationship. Honestly, don't force anything. If there's anything that life has taught me is don't force anything. Just let it unfold however it's going to unfold. You shouldn't be struggling against resistance. Everything should just be super easy. It's that simple. Either it's easy or it's not. We're not going to try to solve it, rescue it, fix it. If it's time to let it go, then it's time to let it go. Welcome. Come on in. I'm just getting started. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello. This is Reiki energy, clearing out the space before we start our collective chakra reading. How are you? I wish my screen was bigger because I can barely see. Hi. Hello, welcome. How are you? If you're new to Reiki, so glad to have you here. Come on in. Reiki is healing energy, universal healing energy. It's a Japanese practice to get you centered and balanced. And that's what we're doing. And you're in the right place. You are in the right place. I love my bracelets. I love the sound of them. Too much smoke. I gotta clear out the energy. I was around some negative people today, and sometimes that negativity kind of sticks to you. So like, I gotta make sure it's not sticking to me. So I have to light the incense. Make sure I get rid of them. Get rid of all the maloikis. Funny. Wait, what's that? Curly what? Yes. Curly hair. Yeah, I'm probably going to straighten it because I wore it curly for the past couple of days, but it's easier when I straighten it. Having curly hair is a lot harder than straight hair. Of your favorite wives. Yeah. I'll straighten it just to make my life easier during the week. You guys are funny. Oh no, we can't have that. We can't have you unsubscribing. It's just so hard to maintain when it's curly. You know, you got to have the right curl pattern. Curl pattern is so important. And then you have to have the right gel. And it's hot where I'm at. It's so hot. And, you know, I have to travel to get to work and walk in this heat. And then today I went for lunch. I sat in a park and, you know, I was just trying to enjoy sitting in the park around the trees. And then I saw ants crawling on me and forget it. I was like, oh no. And they were crawling on me. So I had to wash my hair. I had to take a shower and wash my hair because I'm like, oh my God, there's probably ants in my hair, lost in my hair. So I had to wash. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to wear my hair straight. Not that it matters. If a bug wants to get in there, it will. But it's just easier when my hair is straight. I can just get up and go. Throw it in a ponytail. That's right. Throw it in a ponytail. This is usually like my weekend hair. This is like, you know, on the weekends when I just want to be like hair free and not worried about anything. I just let my hair air dry however it looks. And that's it. That is it. All right. We are going to get started. Let's see what comes up for you. This is going to be a collective. So if you happen to be here on the live, this message is probably for you. That happens a lot. People stop by and they're like, wait, that sounds like my situation. Yeah, there's no coincidence. Spirit probably guided you to be here and to listen to this message to guide you on your situation, whatever is happening, to bring you clarity. But my advice is always that you should never try to fight to stay in a relationship. If it gets too hard, just let it unfold however it's going to unfold. If the person wants to walk away, just let them. I know sometimes that's hard to do when you invested so much of your time and energy, or maybe you've been together for a really long time, or maybe you have kids with that person and you're just like, no, I can't do it. But listen, life is supposed to be easy. It is not supposed to be hard. So when it starts getting hard, just let it unfold. Let the cards fall wherever they're going to fall. Okay. So like I said, this is going to be for the collective. If it makes sense, I'm happy for you. Let me know too. Let me know in the comments if it makes sense to you, if it resonates. But we'll see. We'll see. You know what? I forgot to cleanse the cards. Let me cleanse the cards real quick. Also, you know, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Happy to have you here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with someone who might need this information. All right, gotta make sure these cards are clean. Even though no one touches them, but still, I like to have clean cards every time I use them. What is that? Struggles and challenges in life is what shapes us as a person. If we all got our way all the time, we all would be horribly spoiled people. Very true. That's true. If I didn't have the struggles that I had, I wouldn't be as understanding with people and patient. So that is very true. I 100% agree with you on that one. It makes you appreciate life more, especially when you've gone through some hard times. All right, let's see which chakra comes out. We are looking at relationships, and which chakra that we need to look at that is blocking our relationships, our love relationships, to be specific. Okay, first card that comes out, Earth Angel. Now, anytime this card comes out, this is speaking to someone who has been through a lot of betrayal in their life. This is for someone who has been through a lot of betrayal. Like, you have been stabbed in the back by the people that you love, the people you're supposed to trust, family, friends, just so much betrayal. And not even because you did anything. This is just people who don't like your energy, become very jealous, envious of you, the things that you're doing, how you look, how you present yourself. You could be doing nothing and people will still hate on you because you accomplished so much. Maybe because you overcame so many things in your life. And this is represented by the Earth Angel. She is someone who is very empathic. You probably experienced a lot of abuse when you were younger, neglect, maybe even abandonment. You are very empathic, intuitive. So you might even be diagnosed as ADHD, autistic, bipolar. You are someone that when you walk into a room, you instantly feel like you can read the room. You know exactly how people are feeling, what they're thinking. You're very good at reading people. And despite all of the betrayal that you've gone through, you still have compassion towards people. You still have the ability to have compassion toward people. Although the older you get, the more selective you are about who you hang with. So your circle gets smaller and smaller. And that's, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you've been betrayed so much. So it's like you already can read the patterns with people, and you will distance yourself. And because I'm talking about you, Larry. Exactly. You see, I just said that earlier. I said, if you happen to be on my live and you hear a message, you're going to think it's for you. It is. So despite the fact that you have so much betrayal, you still have compassion for people. You have the ability to really understand people and what they're going through. You even know why people don't like you. Like, that person is jealous, or, oh, they just heard I accomplished something, so they're going to be a hater. Or, maybe someone else convinced them to not like you. It's at the end of the day, it always boils down to jealousy. That's always the reason why someone doesn't like you. It's always like jealousy of, whatever. But that's the Earth Angel. That is the Earth Angel. And she is someone they are someone who's been betrayed a lot in their life. But they know what their mission is. And they have come here to Earth to teach about love, to teach people about love. So that one's coming up. And so that tells me that you you might be in a relationship with a narcissist, because if you're empathic, if you're intuitive, if you are neurodivergent, like ADD, ADHD, autistic, bipolar, sometimes they overlap, you tend to attract narcissistic relationships. And when you're not as evolved, you think that it's your responsibility to fix them. I mean, that is the whole mission of the Earth Angel. That is the Earth Angel's whole point of being here, is to teach people about love. So unfortunately, you're going to cross paths with people who are very narcissistic. Some of those people could be your own relatives, and that hurts. It hurts when it's your own relatives, and then you have to cut them off because they're just not being very nice. And you should cut them off, because you shouldn't tolerate disrespect from anybody. I don't care how they're related to you. You should never. But that is what happens with the Earth Angel. This person attracts narcissists in the relationship. So you may be in a relationship with someone who is a narcissist. They're very cold, emotionally detached. They almost get excited by torturing you, making you feel bad about yourself. You cut off most of your relatives. Yeah. I had to do the same. So I completely understand. Sometimes you have to do that. It's not fun, right? Because, everyone should be able to be around family. But sometimes you can't do that. People want to be mean, and they don't want to take accountability. And God forbid if you try to hold them accountable, it's not going to be good. But with this relationship, I feel like you are trying to visualize success. You want it to be successful. You see yourself doing well. You're hopeful that things will work out. I don't know. You really shut people out. Yeah. Are you neurodivergent, Larry? Most times, when we know we're neurodivergent and we're evolved and more mature, we tend to cut people out. We tend to make our circle very small. And that's okay if you need to do that to find peace in your life. Nothing wrong with that. But this person is trying to visualize success in this relationship. Crystals is coming up. And sometimes when I see crystals, I feel like the message has to do around mineral depletion, if that makes sense. Sometimes when I see crystals, it's like you might have a mineral deficiency. Like you could be lacking in minerals. It might not be that. It could be that you work with crystals. That could be something, but it could also, sometimes it tells me that you have a mineral deficiency and you need to watch that, because sometimes when we struggle with like learning disabilities and mental illness, we're not taking care of ourselves. We're not getting all of our vitamins and minerals that we need. Like our body is not absorbing all of that from whatever we consume, right? Because your stomach is your first brain, and then you got this brain. So whatever you're consuming it's not getting in your body. And you got to make sure that your brain has nutrients, if that makes sense. So sometimes that comes up. I have to set constant reminders to remind me to take my vitamins, because if not, I forget, and then I'm all messed up. All right, which chakra is going to come out? Manifestation power. That's just a sign that you have the ability to manifest whatever you want. It's just a matter of focus. You have to really focus on the goal that you want to accomplish. And you can do that. You can do that in any way that you feel works for you. One way for me is scripting. I love scripting, which is writing. And it's kind of like you're just writing whatever it is, the goal that you're trying to accomplish. You can write it out as if you already accomplished it. You know, like you're talking as if it's here right now. And you're going to keep writing for at least 20 minutes until you can feel that experience and you can see it. Like you have to really feel it, like you're really in that moment. That helps. Also, you know, I love vision boards. Those are really great ways to help to manifest. But this is a reminder that you have a gift and you have the ability to manifest. You just have to focus. Oh, you have? I believe you. I don't see, I feel. And I've felt them a lot. In a previous place I used to live at, it had like something funky in the apartment, and yeah, it was just like really weird. I had to move out. Be willing to forgive. That is such a huge part of healing. The act of forgiveness, which can be hard. It can be hard, especially if we're having an issue with someone and someone hurt us and we take it personal. It's hard to forgive, but I promise you that if you do forgive, your life gets so much better. Like I used to hold so much anger and resentment towards people that hurt me. I wanted revenge. I wanted to do a spell on them, like to make their life miserable. Like I wanted them to just crumble. But when I started understanding that part of healing requires forgiveness, I had to kind of change my ways. And I will say that forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to keep that person in your life. It doesn't mean that you have to have a conversation with them like, oh, hey, I forgive you. You don't need to do that. Forgiveness is about understanding that everybody's on their own journey and that is not really personal, and you're not going to carry the weight of it. Like whatever weight it brings, you're not going to carry it. You're not going to let it fester in your heart, because when you do that, you let the anger fester in your heart, it does manifest very bad. It manifests in a way that is very damaging for you. So you don't want it to fester. You do want to understand that everyone's on their own journey. Everyone's on their own journey trying to figure life out. And you just happen to cross paths with them. They're teaching you a lesson. You're teaching them a lesson. And then it's time for you to move on. That's why I say that if your relationship is falling apart, just let it fall apart. Don't try to rescue it. Don't try to save it. Don't try to do anything. Just let it fall apart. Because it probably has come to that point where it needs to fall apart. So forgiveness is a part of your journey here in this situation that you're in. Singing and dancing is coming up. The need to express yourself. Expressing yourself creatively tends to open up your intuition. So if you've kind of blocked out, and I feel like sometimes this happens when you're in a narcissistic relationship with someone, and maybe you were like you had some kind of talent or gift that you were very passionate about. It could have been singing and dancing, right? Say, that was your thing. You would sing, you would dance, you used to do that all the time, and then you get involved in this narcissistic relationship and all that stops. That happened to me. I used to take taekwondo, and I was taking taekwondo like every day. I would do it every day, and sometimes I would do it for like 2 3. I would take like 2 or 3 classes. I get involved with a narcissist, and he literally sucked the life out of me. I stopped going to class. I stopped practicing. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was so involved in that relationship and chasing him, and trying to work things out, and it was just so chaotic. And I was so mad at myself afterwards, like, how could I just let go of taekwondo? Like, how could I let go of something I was enjoying doing for someone who was just not really doing anything for me? So that happens. You can have a gift, an art, a hobby, or something that you're really passionate about, and then you get involved with a narcissist. He pulls you away from this. That's a red flag. You should never let anyone pull you away from something that you're passionate about. But this is coming up because you could be involved with somebody who pulled you away from your creative gift, whether it's singing, dancing, knitting, drawing, working on cars, whatever it is. I feel like this person pulled you away from that, and this is like a sign for you to go back to doing it, because this is going to help you to strengthen your inner guidance, which then helps you to strengthen your self-esteem and your confidence, and you're more magical when you're more in tune with yourself, as opposed to like being tuned to another person. I hope that makes sense. All right, still waiting for a chakra to come out. Come on. Which chakra do we need to focus on here that's blocking our love relationships? Indigo came out, so I was right. Somebody here is an indigo. Indigo is the same as someone who's been diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, autism. Okay, here we go. Solar plexus. All right. Solar plexus, which is the third chakra. This chakra lies in your stomach area, and it's connected to the energy of personal power. It's how you see yourself, your relationship with yourself. That is what this is about. It's about calling in your personal power, standing your ground, taking responsibility for the person that you've become. You can be struggling with setting boundaries. And that happens in a narcissistic relationship. That can happen. You are struggling to set boundaries with this person. There's like a fear of maybe abandonment. You could be scared of that. It could be that. It could be that you're scared of what this person will say or what they'll do. You don't want to piss them off. So you're struggling with setting boundaries, saying no when you need to. Fear, intimidation comes through. So work on the solar plexus. Work on that. Let's see. Yeah. This is your one-on-one relationships with yourself. How you feel about yourself is very important. How you feel about yourself. Your ability to handle situations. Do you crumble? Do you get very upset? Is there a fear of rejection? Is that the reason why you try to save the relationship? If it's, you guys get into an argument and your person wants to leave or something. So it could be any of those things. But let's look a little further. And then when you struggle with the solar plexus, if you have a block in the solar plexus and you haven't worked out the emotional mental issues, eventually it manifests, right, into physical form. And so what happens is, if you've always struggled with confidence or who you are, and that maybe that never developed as you were growing up, and the solar plexus begins to develop at the age of 14 to 21. Those are critical years. That's when you're trying to find yourself and get autonomy from your family. You're trying to establish your own identity separate from your family. And so during those years, if you didn't have anyone encouraging you, motivating you, inspiring you, teaching you about confidence, you're not going to have it. You're not, as you go into the next phase of your life, and you will struggle in relationship. You'll struggle to set boundaries. You'll struggle to defend yourself. You will struggle to handle situations. And I feel like that's the case here. You'll have anxieties. And then what happens when you have anxiety and stress, it affects your digestive system. Where's your digestive system? Right in the same location where your solar plexus is. In that same location. So as soon as you start developing a block, you may start having digestive issues or hormonal imbalances. That tends to happen. And I see someone here who's like by themselves. Someone who is like, I see someone here who's like alone, right? And you're probably alone because you dealt with this narcissistic relationship. And I feel like you've been alone for a really long time. It could be like it's been 9 years that you've been alone. It could be a really long time, but the last relationship you had was this narcissistic relationship with someone who was super insecure and sadistic and abusive towards you. And abusive in so many ways, like trying to break you down, make you feel bad about yourself. You guys got into arguments all the time. They try to destroy things that you try to build. They might have interfered in your career. And because of that relationship, that was the last time that you probably wanted to be in a relationship, because you're like, I'm not going through that again. I'm not dealing with someone like that again. So I see someone like that, and I feel like you've been single for a very long time, and you're working, you have money, you seem to be doing very well for yourself. But the thing is that relationship really destroyed your ability to trust people. And you struggle with that. Even though if the right person came along, you still would like to give love a chance. And I do see a new beginning with love coming up for you. So you got to work on your solar plexus. Like you've been working on yourself, but you're not quite finished, because you don't want those old habits to creep into the new relationship, especially the trust issues. That's the thing that's coming through, is those trust issues. That's what it is. Like, you got, everything going on for you. You finally feel grounded. You finally feel safe. You've built a life for yourself. You have a beautiful home. You have everything except a relationship. But the reason why you don't have a relationship is because of what you dealt with the last time. And you don't want to deal with that. And I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to either. There is a new beginning that's coming up for you. Showing me a new beginning. Interesting. I want to know. Could be like, ooh, okay, at the bottom of the deck is the Sun card. Yes. The Sun card usually signifies yes. It's also signifying Leo, and we are currently in the time of Leo, in Leo energy. So they're saying yes. Could it be a Leo? Maybe you're a Leo. Maybe they're a Leo. I'm a Leo. I just had a birthday on Monday. Yeah, I see someone here who like walked away from a situation. Like, you're like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm too good for this. You are not going to stay here and play with my heart. And you were sad and it made you upset, but you're like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. It's time for me to go. I'm going to keep going. I'm not turning back. And that's what you did. Or maybe that's what you're going to do. You're going to get to that point where you're like, I'm done. Time for me to go. I'm not staying here. Yeah, because I see you walking into the future. Like, you know you deserve better. Never, ever let anyone make you feel like you don't deserve better. Ever, ever, ever. So, yeah, so I feel like whoever it is that you meet is going to be somebody who is very confident with themselves, someone who's disciplined. I see a uniform. So they could be someone who wears a uniform, law enforcement, military. Although I would advise to stay away from those kind of men. Sorry. But maybe the uniform just represents discipline, okay? Not someone in law enforcement or military, but who knows, right? Why do I feel like this is somebody who you already know? or you met in the past. I feel like it's someone that you already know. I never recommend getting back with someone. Never. Now, if this was someone that you were friends with, nothing ever happened, you never got in a relationship with them, but maybe things never went anywhere, and you kind of lost touch, and now you're reconnecting, and maybe it's better timing, then okay, give it a chance, right? But if this is like an ex trying to come back, absolutely not. But because I see this person looking into the past, so I feel like they are someone who you know could be a little bit younger than you, or maybe slightly immature. I get young energy, so it could be either or. But yeah, I do feel like this person has a uniform. Could signify maybe they have a job that requires them to wear a uniform. Hopefully it's not military or law enforcement, but it could mean that they are someone who's very disciplined. But I mean, not well, I can't say that. Listen, even the nice guys were bad, okay? Like I've I I've met very nice law enforcement, very nice military, but guess what? They still can be a little sneaky. So, just saying. Um yeah, I feel like this time around, while you're this time around, I feel like you would be different. Like once, like if you meet someone, if someone comes into your life or a relationship, you won't be the way you were before. You'll be a lot smarter. Like the minute you see a red flag, you're out. You're not giving nobody any chances. So I feel like things are more clear for you. Things are more clear, more yeah. I just feel like more clear, more awake, aware this time around. Because sometimes like we'll take a break from being in a relationship, and then you get in another relationship and you're like, what the fuck? It's another pattern again. Like again, I'm repeating the same thing. Like I feel like I'm with the same person that I was before, like the same problems, right? And that's because we don't realize that we're showing the same patterns that we showed before in the last relationship, and that's the reason why it's going the same way. And maybe it's that there were some red flags that were showing and you ignored them, but this time you're not going to ignore them. You're going to pay attention to them. So yeah, it's like someone from your past is trying to come back. Someone from your past that is trying to come back and reunite with you might not be long term. Yeah, someone from your past. Never let anyone from your past come back. I mean, of course, it always depends on the situation, but most of the time, when something ends, it ends for a reason, right? Never good to go back. It's never good to go back. Yeah. And sometimes the other person is delusional. Like sometimes you'll have an ex contact you after 15 years. They're like, hey, can I take you out? No, I'm not even the same person that I was back then. No. Some people are crazy to do that. Very crazy. Okay. Exactly. Out with the old, in with the new. Exactly. Exactly what they're saying. So that's a sign. Out with the old, in with the new. This was a tower situation that happened. Whoever this person is that might be trying to come back, I feel like it was a tower situation, and that situation was literally forcing you out. Like, there were so many signs for you to leave, and you didn't leave. There were so many signs saying you got to get out this relationship, and you didn't. I know what that feels like. I went through that. Okay, I went through that. I remember my last relationship, and I was dealing with a narcissist, and he was so sadistic. But thank God that I knew what he was doing, and I knew what the issue was. And I was just like, I cannot wait to get out of this relationship. And when I finally did, I was like, I'm so glad. What a relief. I'm done with this situation. I may have spent 5 minutes mourning the loss of that relationship, and that was only because he kept a lot of my things and didn't want to give them back to me, just being spiteful. And I was like, keep it. I don't care. Keep it then. But I was so glad to be done with that relationship. And when I was done, it's like all of these opportunities that I had been waiting for suddenly came to me. It was so weird. It was almost like that person cannot be in your life right now. So as long as they're in your life, none of these opportunities are going to come to you. Because I will tell you, the wrong relationship will have you broke. Okay? The wrong relationship will have you broke. Your money is directly linked to your emotions. And if you're in a relationship that's toxic, where you're constantly arguing all the time, your money is going to disappear. You will lose your job, or you'll start have problems at your job. If you're looking for a job, it's going to be a challenge. Like, if you're in a situation like that where you're constantly arguing with your partner and there's jealousy and insecurity, please save yourself. Get out. You're not missing anything. All you're doing is missing an opportunity to be with someone better, if that's what you want. But even Spirit is saying, out with the old, in with the new. Do not allow yourself to go back to a toxic situation. Don't allow it. Tell me more about this person. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they going to change? Like, what's the deal? Okay. I get abundance. So maybe this person has money and they have grandchildren or kids. But like, this person could be someone who's older, has wealth, is wealthy. That's good. Listen, if you're going to tolerate someone's bullshit, at least they need to have money. You know, at least they need to have money and give you money. It could be that this person has money, has wealth. There's something here about wealth, passing down wealth, creating wealth, building wealth in the family. So maybe that person has money now and that's what they want. I get a new beginning here. This is a new beginning, and I feel like this person could be coming back and like pretending like nothing ever happened between the both of you. Like nothing bad ever happened between the both of you. That is what I'm getting. I do see a butterfly, and so I feel like maybe this person changed a little bit. They could have transformed a little bit, but I feel like their energy is still maybe a little immature, or maybe they're younger than you. But this is going to be a new opportunity that presents itself to you. A new opportunity. What sign are they? That's what I want to know. What's their sign? Let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down. Oh, the Ace of Abundance. Okay. So another card that signifies a new beginning. Another card that, okay, a new beginning. I'm trying to get their, so this person could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Libra. Could be somebody who's born in April. But this is signifying like this time. So maybe you could be hearing from this person soon. Yeah. Almost like I feel like this person wants to establish something. Like they want to establish a strong foundation. Building brick by brick. Let me see. Give me another card about this person. Another ace. All right. I got 3 confirmations. Let's see. I got 3 confirmations of aces. New beginning, new beginning, new beginning. So let me see. It's just new beginning. That's really what it is. It just wants to indicate a new beginning here. It could be your career is a new beginning. Your love life is going to be a new beginning. Doesn't sound bad. So overall, I feel like the thing that is blocking your love life is, this solar plexus, and maybe trust. Maybe the ability to trust or to feel confident that the relationship is going to work out once you get into the relationship. So work on your solar plexus, work on your confidence, your self-esteem, clear up any past energy around intimidation or trust or fear. I would work on those things. And everything should be fine. And also be confident with who you are. Don't change who you are. Like, don't hide yourself from people. Sometimes we make ourselves little because we don't want people knowing how much we've done. Don't do that. Okay? The right person is going to be able to handle that about you. If someone can't handle that about you, they're not the right person. If they don't support what you do, if they're not being supportive of what you do, if they don't want to hear the good news, that's how you know people are jealous of you. You don't need to be around people like that. You want people who are going to be supportive of you. And I feel like if this person is older and established and has a career and has money, and they built themselves, most times they're very confident and they'll be very supportive of you, whatever your, goals are. They'll be very supportive of you, and you won't have to worry about that. It's when people struggle with success, like maybe they try to build something and it failed, and then they never went and tried anything else again because they feel insecure that they failed at something, and they don't rebuild themselves again, and you just see them getting worse. Maybe they're drinking, they're doing drugs. Like, stay away from that person, because that person is not going to celebrate you. They're not going to be happy for you. They're going to try to destroy what you have. You don't need to be around someone like that. You need to be around someone who's confident, who built himself up, who has money, who's generous with it, and who's going to be very supportive of you. And that looks like someone like that is coming in the picture. And this is completely like new beginning, but like, I also got someone from your past. Maybe it's someone that you never got involved with, like someone that you know, but you never got involved with them. And if that's the case, then you were just like friends with someone, and then you just happened to like not you lost contact with them. Then I say give it a chance. But if it's an ex trying to come back into your life, you guys broke up and it was bad, no, don't even respond to any of their messages. All right, guys, that is all that I have for you today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave me a comment. Let me know if this resonated with you or not. I don't know. All right, guys, I'll check you out at the next video.